In this class, I'm going to show you how to factorize quadratic equation without guessing. You understand? Okay, so let's start with the first question. We are asked to factorize the quadratic equation 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. Okay, so how do we factorize the quadratic equation? To factorize this quadratic equation, the first step is that you have to make the value of a, you have to make it 1. You understand? In this case, the value of a is 2. Don't forget, a is the coefficient of x squared. You understand? So the value of a is 2 and the value of b is negative 7 and the constant term is negative 4. Now we have to make the value of a, we have to make it 1. So how do we do that? To make the value of a 1, all you have to do is that you just have to factor it out. Okay, so if you factor the value of a out, which is 2, we're going to have 2 into bracket x squared minus 7x all over 2 minus 2. You understand? If you open this bracket using this 2, you are still going to have this quadratic equation. You understand? So I just factored it out. Now you can see that the value of a is 1. So you know that because this quadratic equation is trinomial, so it's going to be factored into 2. You understand? We're going to have 2 factors and each factor starts with x. X plus m. We don't know the value of m, and x plus n. We don't know the value of n as well. So you just have to put the 2 that you factored out at the front of these factors. You understand? Okay? Please kindly pay attention. All this, we've learned this in our previous class, but I didn't teach you how to factorize a trinomial quadratic equation in which the value of a is not 1. You can see that the value of a is not 1 in this case. So that is why I want you to pay attention. Okay, I'm very sure we've learned this in our previous class. So if you missed the class, you can check the description of this video, okay, to watch the classes. Okay, now you know in quadratic equation there is something called sum and there is something called product. Sum simply means the sum of roots, and product simply means the product of roots. Their sum must be equal to the second term in the quadratic equation. You understand? In this case, the second term is negative 7 over 2 and the constant term is what? Negative 2. You understand? So the sum must be equal to the second term in the quadratic equation. So m plus n must be equal to negative 7 all over 2 and m multiplied by n must be equal to negative 2. You understand? Okay, now having done this, the next step is that you have to take the half of the sum. You understand? Hello, the sum is what? M plus n, which is equal to negative 7 over 2, and the product is what? M multiplied by n, which is what? Negative 2. The next step is that you have to take the half of the sum. So half of the sum simply means that half of negative 7 over 2. So here I'm going to have negative 7 over 2 divided by 2 over 1, because that means I'm going to have like negative 7 over 2 all over 2. So if you do this, you are going to have this. So I'm going to have negative 7 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2, which is what? Negative 7 over 4. You understand? Okay, so the half of negative 7 over 2 is negative 7 all over 4. Okay, now having taken the half of the sum, that is m plus n all over 2 is equal to negative 7 all over 4. Having taken the half of the sum, the next step is that you have to increase the half. You have to increase it by a constant and you have to decrease it by a constant. Then you are going to sum them together. Please pay attention. I'm going to explain. Okay, you know that the half of the sum is what? Negative 7 over 4. Now you have to increase this half by a constant. We don't know the value of this constant. You understand? You have to increase this half by a constant. So here I'm going to have negative 7 all over 4 plus k. We represent the constant as k. Then you have to decrease it. You have to sum it. Negative 7 over 4 minus k. You have to increase it by a constant and decrease it by a constant. The same constant. So then sum the constant, sum both of them together, because you are dealing with sum now. Okay. Hello. This is simple. Okay. You just have to pay attention. You know there are some of you that are not good at guessing. So that's why I take time to teach you this method. Okay. Now, you see, this must be equal to negative 7 all over 2. You understand? If you missed the previous class on this, check the description of this video to watch the class. Okay, this is just another heading of what we learned in our previous class. Okay, so if you didn't understand what we learned in our previous class, you might find it difficult to understand this. Okay, now let's proceed. Now, since the sum must be equals to negative 7 over 2, the product must also be equals to negative 2. You understand? So I'm going to have negative 7 all over 4 plus k multiplied by negative 7 all over 4 minus k. This must be equals to negative 2. You understand? Now, it is from this product that I'm going to determine the value of k. You understand? So negative 7, you can see that this is just a typical example of difference of 2 squared. You understand? So this can be written as negative 7 all over 4 squared, that is minus k squared, will be equals to negative 2. You understand? Negative 7 multiplied by negative 7, that is 49. All over 4 times 4 is what? That is 16. You understand? So here we're going to have 16. Okay? So having gotten this, all you have to do now is that you have to collect the like terms. Minus k squared equals to negative 2. Negative k squared is equals to negative 2 minus 49 all over 16. You understand? Okay, take the LCM. Negative k squared is equals to, this will be 16. Then you're going to have negative 32, negative 49. Okay, negative 32, negative 49. That will give us negative 81. Okay, negative 81, yeah, all over 16. So k squared is equals to negative 81 all over 16. So k is equals to, because this negative will cancel this negative, so we are left with k squared is equals to 81 all over 16. Take the square roots. Now k is equals to plus or minus 9 all over 4. You understand? So we are going to choose the positive k. So k is equals to 9 all over 4. Now, having gotten the value of k, the next step is that you have to replace the value of k in this equation. You understand? This is the equation. Replace the value of k in this equation. Okay? Oh, sorry. Replace the value of k in this equation. So we are going to have negative 7. Hello? Negative 7 all over 4 plus 9 all over 4. You see, I just replace the value of k in this equation to get two values. Those two values are the value of m and n. You understand? So having gotten the value of k, which is 9 over 4, just substitute it into this equation. We're going to have negative 7 over 4 plus 9 over 4 plus negative 7 over 4 minus 9 over 4. That will be this over 4. Negative 7 plus 9. Okay, let me just take it step by step. Negative 7 plus 9. Here we're going to have negative 7 minus 9. Okay, negative 7 plus 9, that is 2. 2 over 4. Then negative 7 minus 9, that is negative 16. Yes, negative 16 all over 4. So 2 over 4 is 1 over 4. You can see. Then negative 16 over 4, that is negative 4. Okay, negative 4. So now these are the two values that we got after substituting the value of k into this equation. Now we are going to replace those two values as m and n respectively. You see, this one is m and this one is n. You understand? Okay, so let us replace this. We are going to have 2 into bracket x plus m, that is x plus 1 over 4. Okay, x plus n, x plus minus 4. Okay, now just multiply this bracket by 2. We are going to have 2x plus 2, that is 2 times 2x. That 2 times x, that is 2x. 2 times 1 over 4, that is what? Oh, this is 1. Oh, sorry, this is 1 over 2. Sorry, this is 1 over 2. Sorry, there's a mistake here. So 2 times 1 over 2 is what? Is 1. Sorry, this should be 1. You see, 2 divided by 4 is what? Is 1 over 2. You understand? I made a mistake, so I've already corrected it. 2 times x is what? 2x. 2 times 1 over 2, that is what? 1. Okay? So put the bracket. Here, we are going to have x minus 4 because plus 1 multiplied by negative 4, that will give us negative 4. So the factor to this quadratic equation 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 is 2x plus 1 and 2x and x minus 4 respectively. Do you understand? If you didn't understand, listen to the explanation again. Okay, so let's have one more example before we go. We have to factorize the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x minus 91. Okay, x squared minus 6x minus 91. So how do we factorize this quadratic equation without guessing? Because this quadratic equation is a trinomial, so it's going to be factored in the two factors. It is going to be factored into two factors in which each of the factors start with x. You understand? So, okay. Now, the next step now is that you know that the sum must be equal to the second term. You understand? The sum of the root must be equal to negative 6 and the product must be equal to negative 1, because this quadratic equation is a quadratic equation in which the a value, that is the value of a, is 1. You understand? So this is negative 91 here. Now let us proceed. The sum must be equal to negative 6 and the product must be equal to negative 91. You understand? So the next step is that you have to take the half of the sum. The half of the sum simply means m plus n all over 2, and m plus n is what? Negative 6. So here we are going to have negative 6 all over 2, which is equal to negative 3. Okay, having done this, you have to increase this half by a constant term and decrease this half by a constant term, then sum them together. You understand? So please pay attention. We don't know the constant term, so we represent the constant term as k. So I'm going to have negative 3 plus k, then plus negative 3 minus k. This must be equal to m plus n, and m plus n is equal to what? Is negative 6. You understand? Okay, you see, m that you see here is negative 3 plus k, and n that you see here is negative 3 minus k. You understand? Okay, so since we know that their sum must be equal to negative 6, that means that their product, negative 3 plus k, their product must be equal to negative 91. You understand? Okay, now the next step is that we have to get the value of k from the product. You understand? From this equation that you see here, that is where we are going to get our value of k. So you can see that this is just like a typical example of difference of 2 squared. You understand? So here we are going to have negative 3 squared minus k squared is equal to negative 91. Sorry, negative 91. Okay, so negative 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to have 9 minus k squared is equal to negative 91. Okay, negative k squared is equal to negative 91. Now, if you take this 9 to the right hand side of the equation, it's going to turn to negative. So I'm going to have negative 9. So here, negative k squared is equal to, that is negative 100. So k squared is equal to 100 square root. K squared, k is equal to square root of 100, which is positive or negative. K is equal to plus or minus 10. Okay, so k is equal to 10. You understand? Now, having gotten the value of k, the next step is that you have to replace the value of k in the equation. You understand? Let us call this equation. Just substitute the value of k into this equation. You understand? K is 10. So if I want to substitute the value of k into this equation, I'm going to have negative 3. We are going to have negative 3 plus 10. Okay, plus negative 3 minus 10. You understand? Negative 3 plus 10, that is 7. Then negative 3 minus 10, that is minus 13. You understand? Okay, please pay attention. You can see now that the value of k, having substituted the value of k into this, we have 7 and negative 13. And I told you that the first bracket represents the value of m and the second bracket represents the value of n. So in this case, m is 7. You understand? M is equal to 7 and n is equal to negative 13. So you have gotten the value of m and n. all you have to do is that you have to replace the value of m and n in this factor. So I'm going to have x plus 7 and x minus 13. You understand? So that is the factor of the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x minus 91. Do you understand? Okay, so that will be all for this class. If you have any question regarding what we've learned in this class, let me know in the comment section. So see you in the next class. Before you go, don't forget to like and share the video. Okay.